This semester I worked as a camera assistant on our BA2 film Exigency. SW3 Cinematography was very challenging to complete under COVID restrictions. A lot of our learning had been restricted to online, so I took it upon myself to do lots of personal research into things such as dynamic composition and lighting in areas that I wanted to improve. I found access to many helpful books, such as The Visual Story, Paul Wheeler's Practical Cinematography, The Camera Assistant, and the Camera Assistant's Manual, The Filmmaker's Eye, The Language of the Lens, and also some work on art history. Furthermore, I did research into old Hollywood photography. I found these shots extremely interesting, demonstrating how filmmakers used to use lighting and camera so in depth. Moreover, I came across a blog by Eric Kim on dynamic composition and visual placement. I even signed up for one of his workshops. Looking at his work into art history, I decided to order 3 books, namely Art History for Filmmakers, Visual Storytelling, and Master Shots Volume 1. After doing the majority of my work inside so far, I decided that it would be a good idea to go and do a test shoot at the actual Victoria Arch. It was great to get a look at the real-life location. This gave me a much better feel for the dimensions that I would be shooting in. Throughout this module, I really wanted to order my own film lights. As we had restricted access to the equipment at university, I wanted to buy a brilliant small compact LED light that I could take for on-set filming. After much research, I came across the newer lights. I decided to buy a 528 LED video light, dimmable bi-colour intelligent app control for outdoor and indoor use. It was battery powered and plugged into the mains. With 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin, it was great at daylight and tungsten lighting. On top of this, it also had a selection of other colours to choose from, along with special settings. Moving on to more equipment. Even though we didn't have access to things that we would normally have access to, such as jib arms, dollies, tracks, I was still able to evolve my learning through using apps on my phone, such as the Sun Surveyor app or the Focus Chart app. These were discussed with us in class. Furthermore, due to our restricted access, I thought it would be a brilliant idea to completely familiarise myself once more with all of my own personal equipment. This meant reading through the instruction booklet for my GH5 Lumix Panasonic camera. It was brilliant that I was able to compare and contrast what we had learnt in class to doing something in real life. I went through settings such as the ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and using different aspects such as histograms, waveforms, zebra, and peaking on my own personal camera. I even got the opportunity to try out an ND filter that I had not used before, and learn how to properly set up my focus pull setting. This meant setting the focus at point A before setting a second focus point at point B. Once these were set, you are able to easily move in between these two. A few days later, I was extremely excited for my light to finally arrive. I got to set it up on the light stand and use the app to try out all of the special functions. This included dimming from daylight to tungsten, as well as changing to any other colour and the strength of said colour. Furthermore, the special settings included a police car, an ambulance and a fire truck, as well as party setting, candlelight and fireworks. The light could also be controlled physically on the back of it, where a small screen displayed all the information. I was extremely happy with the light as it was extremely easy to use and very light and compact. Moving back onto my self-study, it was eye-opening to see how many films and different genres are influenced through art. taking into account things like painting with light and how to layer light in a frame. Furthermore, I was able to combine my study between what I had learnt in books, what I had learnt in class, with my notes, and even going to Victoria Arch and trying things out in real life.
Cloth or whatever he's using.
Through this, I was able to plan and think about how we would film some of the more difficult scenes, such as the fight scene where one of the characters gets knocked down. We're unable to film this correctly because of COVID and need to keep a 2-metre distance. Looking through my books and planning this in my notes, I think we will be able to get around this through shooting with a long lens. Moreover, I have started putting thought into the lighting for the film and how we will do this in the middle of the woods. I had the idea of using a sheet as a diffuser hung between 2 trees as well as sunlight. I feel prepared and very excited to film our film.